Hi, this is Nirmal from Bangalore. Before we begin, let me thank Mr. Mathew, the chief editor of Pravasi Shabdam, for accepting my friend request in Facebook. I have read some of your articles and I agree with your reactions to the abusive comments and responses. Whatever be the reason, it is not a Christian way to use abusive languages, and I believe in respectful debates. This is my response to series of accusations by Pravasi Shabdam and other similar social media channels against the church leaders in Kerala on the issue of Father Tom. Mr. Vince is challenging for a debate, but sadly, I am not in a position to have a debate with you because of two reasons. Reason number one, that won't serve the purpose. How to get Father Tom released should be the subject of our discussion. Engaging in debate instead or accusing each other simply will not help. Reason number two, we don't have enough data to have a debate. I don't think that you have any access to the data either. You make assertions without data, but I can't. One, who kidnapped Father Tom? Two, what are the demands apart from money? Three, if it is only money, then how much? These are the basic data we need to begin a debate on the first place. Without having this data, a debate is not possible. Once we have this data, a debate is not needed because the problem is solved and all we have to do is to get it done. People say Father Tom is kidnapped by IS terrorists. The fact is that IS have never made any such claim. For example, in the recent London attack and in a suicidal bomb attack in Aden itself, in both the cases, IS have almost immediately claimed the responsibility. And this has not happened in the case of Father Tom. So, we cannot be 100% certain about it. But for the sake of our discussion, let us assume that it is IS. Secondly, we don't know what exactly their demands are. You must have listened to Father Tom's videos. If not, I have given the links to both the links to the videos in my description so you can watch it. And he clearly says that neither the Indian government nor the Bishop of Abu Dhabi asked them what they really want. So the video seems to suggest that the demands are not communicated on the first place. So the media claims of demanding ransom may be just another speculation. Yes, it is obvious that the terrorists will ask ransom, but usually they also make other demands like withdrawing of US Army, expelling of missionaries, etc. And if at all they have asked only money, then how much? There are people making claims like a week Sunday collection may suffice, or if the bishop can sell his car, that amount may suffice, etc. But when nobody knows what is the amount to be paid, then how can you make such assertions? If that is the case, then there is no need for all this drama. We can easily raise that amount and hand it over to the government if needed. Politicians make politically motivated statements to wash their hands like Pontius Pilate, the politician of Jesus' time, like, I am not responsible for this man's blood. And they are trying to point their fingers towards the bishop and shout, crucify him. I am most certain that if something happens to Father Tom, then the only culprits will be the church leaders for not paying a ransom amount which nobody knows. Mr. Sean George was trying to pitch the same thing. He was also saying that the faithful must raise the funds. My humble question to you, sir, then why don't you do that? Please tell me what is the amount that we should raise if you know that. If the amount is equal to the price of a Toyota car, then we can easily raise that amount. We don't even know how much money they are asking, and how can we accuse the church for not paying it? So, because of all these reasons, I don't want to engage in a debate here, but I do this video with two intentions. First and foremost, to save Father Tom and seek every possible way, and if possible, let's join our hands and do whatever possible. Second intention, to make people better informed on this issue and enable them to make decisions which may address the real issue rather than making any rash judgments. Some may be buying into your arguments and some may be buying my arguments based on their own thoughts and reasoning. I am perfectly okay with that. But my job is to let them know the facts. Here, Pravasi Shabdam is trying to portray Kerala church leaders as the main culprit for not paying the ransom. I ask my listeners to consider the following points and come to your own conclusion. Point number one, I hope by now you must have seen both the videos from Father Tom. In both the videos, he doesn't say anything about the terrorist contacting any bishop or priest in Kerala. Point number two, Father Tom is a Salesian priest and the Salesian congregation has more assets when compared to our Kerala church because this is a worldwide congregation. I am not trying to accuse them for not paying the ransom, but trying to make a point that if the ransom was the only issue, then Salesians will surely be in a position to pay a decent amount. But as we understand, the ransom is not the only issue here. But unfortunately, people are buying into such false ideas. Point number three, Catholic Church is not the only party involved. As it is evident from the videos, it is the Indian government whom the terrorists have contacted. And if at all anybody, including our bishop, is making an attempt to pay the ransom, then it should be done through the Indian government. Point number four, Father Tom is criticizing both the India government and Pope Francis for not rescuing him while he has not said even a single word against the Kerala church authorities. At the same time, Pravasi Shabdam seems to be concerned only about the Kerala church authorities while not uttering a single word against the government or the Pope. The reason is pretty obvious that if they do so, then nobody will be buying into their arguments. Point number five, Sushma Swaraj has affirmed that the government will spare no effort. And we all know that Sushma Swaraj is a very good minister, though we disagree with her on many other issues. So, and she has indeed demonstrated her abilities many times by rescuing many people, including two Catholic priests. So, there is no reason to doubt Sushma Swaraj on this issue, and that's exactly why Pravasi Shabdam is silent and has not dared to utter a single word against her. Point number six, terrorists ask money to support their terror activities. If we give them money, they will certainly use it for terror activity and will certainly result in death of many innocent people. We don't want that to happen. So, personally, I am not in favor of giving ransom, and the Kerala Church authorities also may be holding the same view. That doesn't mean that we don't want him to be released or we are doing nothing to get him released. So that doesn't mean that. So my reasoning here is that money is not the only issue here. There are so many other underlying issues like unfavorable political environment in Yemen. And there are limitations for both the Indian government and for the church authorities to effectively involve in this matter. And regarding the canonization issue, to canonize him or not is simply not in our hands. If we want someone to get canonized, then we have to submit the cause to Vatican and it has to be attested by two miracles. Please remember that it is not like canonizing anyone whom you want. Also, let us keep in mind that there were 16 other people, including 4 missionaries of Charity Sisters, who were killed and not yet canonized. So, there is no logic in accusing that if Father Tom is martyred, then he will be canonized. Please remember that for someone to be canonized, it is not mandatory for him to be a martyr. There are countless number of saints who are not martyrs. So the claim that the church wants him to die in order to make him a saint is totally off the mark. And if he is martyred or not, Father Tom is indeed the hero of our faith. So now I appeal to all my listeners to make a judgment, and if you still think that the bishops in India are really guilty, then please go ahead and share those posts from Pravasi Shabdam, or else I request you to please share my video. And thank you very much.